Dakotta, and I'm a pencil reading partner at Belmont University. Today I will be reading A is for America. The United States of America was formed in 1776 out of 13 colonies that fought for independence from Great Britain. Compared to many nations around the world, the United States is relatively young. It is neither the largest country in the world nor the most populous. But in so many ways, the United States of America is the most influential nation on earth, especially in its belief in democracy. The idea that a government should be of the people, by the people, and for the people. Go tell Matt, Ian, and Madison, and Bo, and Griffin, Quinn, and Christian, and everyone you know. Tell Andy, Bryson, Madison, Kirby, Addison, and Erica. Shout it from the hills that A is for America. B can be for Boston and the Battle of Bunker Hill, and breaking from the British who ruled here until a band of brave believers behind a boisterous yell brought forth a brand new nation and banged the Liberty Bell. C is for the cities that reach into the blue, like Chicago, Cleveland, Charlotte, and Cincinnati do, and it's for the Constitution that guides us still today, written for we the people to find a better way. D is for Detroit and its shiny automobiles. It's called the Motor City and it put the world on wheels. It's Dallas and it's Denver and Dover, Delaware. It's the Dakotas in December when it snows in the air. E is for the elegant eagle soaring above the hill and the ever-flowing Everglades where egrets eat their fill. E is an endless echo in the Grand Canyon at dawn. And Eureka, it's Thomas Edison turning a light bulb on. F is for the fireworks that fly on the 4th, from Fort Worth in the south to Fargo in the north. F is 50 fluttering flags and 50 license plates, 50 fine state capitals, and 50 United States. G is for gold rush that swept the Golden State and gave us California with its grand Golden Gate. And it's for Alaska's glaciers that glisten on the coast and the gushing of a geyser that hovers like a ghost. H stands for Hemingway and Huckleberry Finn, hydroelectric Hoover Dam and so many Holiday Inns, hot dogs in Hawaii, Henry Ford in his cars, heading home on Halloween with chocolate Hershey bars. I is indeed important, how America came to be. It's the idea that an individual can insist on being free. And I is for immigration and the immigrants who came from Italy, Ireland, or India were Americans, all the same. From Jamestown to James Monroe, we need the letter J. It's not for Thomas Jefferson. Where would we be today? It's Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and the jingle that Jello has. It's a jam session jumping with the music we call jazz. Kitty Hawk in Kansas and Kodak Bears. King Kamalima, Kellogg's Rice Krispie Squares. K is two kinds of king. George III, who was defeated, and Martin Luther Jr., whom our troubled nation needed. Abraham Lincoln gets all of L. It's elementary, you see. He held us all together, and at the same time set us free. His memorial in Washington makes him a giant of a man, or look upon a smaller one, the penny, in your hand. Mayflower, Minamuma, Motown, Manatee. It is Mickey, Mantle, Mickey Mouse, Monopoly. M can seem so mighty when it's a river rolling by. Mississippi. Norman Rockwell, Niagara Falls, A Night in New Mexico. New Orleans and Native America. N is for Navajo. And NASA and Neil Armstrong, who reached the moon to find that it was one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. the Old West, the OK Corral, the Old Oregon Trail, and an old ornery outlaw, and an owl on a rail, Old Faithful, Old Glory, and good old Oreos, an overlook in the Ozarks where the occasional possum goes. Pikes Peak and peanut butter, that's the letter P. Plymouth Rock and pilgrims at peril on the sea. Rosa Parks, parades, popcorn in a pan, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where it all began. Q is for the quill that John Hancock used to place his quite creative signature in the most important space. It is for the America quarter and the bobwhite quail, and the quilts that kept the Quakers warm in Pennsylvania gale. A remote reach of the Rockies, the reflection of Mount Rainier, the regal ridges of Mount Rushmore, the ride of Paul Revere, the Roosevelts, Franklin and Teddy, Babe Ruth and Rocky Roll, Rosie the Riveter, the Rio Grande, and remember the Alamo. Stand and salute the stars and stripes assembled to celebrate. A stripe for each of the colonies and a star for every state. Susan B. Anthony, Sierra Nevada, a steam locomotive train. Sitting Bull and Samuel Clemens, better known as Mark Twain. As tall as Texas for Thanksgiving and telephone. Harry S. Truman, Harriet Tubman, and trips to the Twilight Zone. Times Square on New Year's Eve, a tasty Tootsie Roll. Turning timber into a tall and towering totem pole. U takes us up to Utah, unafraid of an upcoming storm. It's undeniably Ulysses S. Grant in his Union uniform. It's also Uncle Tom's Cabin, which helped us understand the uncommon things we must uphold for dear old Uncle Sam. V is for the veterans and the valor they displayed. It is vying for vital victories and the sacrifices they made. V is for Virginia and Vermont and Vikings too. It seems they got here long before Columbus was able to. Wheeling, West Virginia, Walt Disney and Wagon Trail, World War I and World War II, the World Series and John Wayne. W stands for Washington, who wintered at Valley Forge. City, state, and presidential, all named for him by George. The letter X should remind us of the importance of Election Day, when all Americans, rich and poor, are allowed to have their say. Some were told they couldn't vote if they couldn't write their name, so they signed the ballot with the letter X and it counted just the same. You can make your hungry, as Yogi Bear has shown. Out yonder you'll find Y for Yosemite and Yellowstone. The Y can be a place for fun like the YMCA. And in the Bronx, it's Yankee Stadium, where the New York Yankees play. Z is for Zane Grey, who wrote stories about the West. Z is also for zip codes, but I think I like that I like best. For Z to remind us of Whitcomb Judson, as clever as he could be, he gave us the magical zipper in 1893. It is a special place, this land of ours, from sea to shining sea. And now you know it is from America all the way to Zipper Z.